You know what's crazy? And this is the truth. I mean, you can look it up here on my YouTube channel, and maybe even on the BW Rose's Discussions Audio podcast if it gets a little higher during the weekend. But right now, it is about 11:43. I've got about 17 minutes before I have to clock in. But it's kind of amazing, isn't it? You know, it's kind of amazing that when you go out and you talk about something, and without even linking the post to any of the Facebook group pages or any place that you feel is going to get the most attention at, or at least help get the most attention, all of a sudden, just literally out of nowhere, it takes off like a rocket. And I've had this happen to numerous videos, even when I was monetizing. But yeah, this thing here took off like a rocket. And right now, it's only been about 15 to 16 hours since I posted it. But the whole talk about it's 2023 and the Sparity fan base and stuff is bigger and stronger than ever, you know, as far as My Little Pony goes. You know, Sparity being, of course, short for Spike and Rarity. It blew up. It blew up to 251 views here on my YouTube page. That is something. Now, I've had videos and live streams blow up even higher than that sometimes. Whether or not it's me talking about, you know, topics on my mind, or, you know, talking about MLP, Sparity, or Sonic and Sally from Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever. You know, I've had them blow up. I've had them blow up to unbelievable sizes in viewership. Live viewership, if not viewership, you know, throughout. Like here. But what this does, in my opinion, is it pretty much backs up and confirms what a lot of us already knew. And that is, Sparity is still beloved. It is still beloved. This ship is still beloved and supported. And there's no getting around that. There's no getting around that. I mean, I know some people still feel that, you know, hey, it's, you know, they shouldn't be promoting this because it's like a young kid and a grown adult. It's pedophileness. And look, you could say whatever you want. You could say whatever you want to say and believe about it. You know that's what's great about any fan base. But whether you like to agree with it or not, it does get people talking. It does get people talking. And you know what's funny is, you know, it got me to kind of watch a little bit of the last, I guess you could say, Sparity-centric episode of the show, which was Dragon Dropped. And Dragon Dropped, in my opinion, it was good. And yes, not many people will agree with the portrayal of Rarity in there and all that. But again, it's all open to interpretation. Like I've said before, I think when you look at Sparity's reaction, you know, you would probably wonder, well, why is she so jealous of Gabby? You know, she's just a friend Spike made. She should be happy for Spike, right? What's going on? And it's basically, I think, I guess the MLP staff's very subtle way of her acknowledging and realizing that just like Spike has always viewed her as more than a friend, you know, as a potential love interest, someone he could be with for the rest of his life, that in a sense, in a very subtle way, the staff basically made her realize that she felt the same way, you know, and that she didn't acknowledge this until someone else came in and basically took all the attention Spike would give her away from her. And look, a lot of people, even back in 2013 when they did the whole Nightmare Rarity thing, you know, people even at Equestria Daily were wondering if, you know, it was canon, and basically stating that comics were more willing to make it canon than show. And look, if there's one thing we can say about comic books, no matter who the publisher is, no matter whether or not the original works or the licensed works, like MLP, Sonic, and whatnot, we know that the comics are allowed to go a little harder than the show would. Yeah, they will go a little harder in the show. They will be more open, basically, to talking about, if not, maybe canonizing certain relationships, and maybe even making them look and feel like, they're more than just a regular friendship. I mean, you look at, like I said, the ending of the Nightmare Rarity arc, the final parts there. I mean, come on. They knew what they were doing. Like I said in the video, you had a holiday annual a couple of years ago. You had a Spike and Rarity centric, story there. You take a look at the Finland book that came out called A Pony Named Spike, where Spike temporarily becomes a Pegasus for a day, and his cutie mark, changes, kind of, I would say, inspired by the Cutie Pox episode. It changes to whatever is on his mind, or whatever he's thinking or feeling. And in one case, his cutie mark turns into a heart with Rarity's face on it. It's the fact that to me that no matter how you feel about the relationship, it is something that gets people talking, because it's interpreted in so many different ways. It really is. I mean, yes, people would rather have Spike be with someone like Smolder, or someone like Ember, or someone like Gabby, and that's fine. You feel like those are better choices, better fits, more power to you. But I want you to realize something. The only time those get touched upon is when Spike is part of the episode. When it's revealed that Smolder's brother is Garble, the one that's been bullying, Spike. You have the interaction there. The Molt season, the interaction there and stuff. Yeah, there are moments. And yes, Spike is glad to have another dragon around, even if it's a female. But they do have their moments. But here's the thing. The far and in between. And because of that, basically, if you compare them, what is the more focused, ship or tease of a ship? Spike and Rarity. Now, some would say, well, look at all the moments Spike had with Applejack. Disney Fanatic even, did a couple of compilations on that. And look, I'm not denying, that whatsoever. I'm not denying that in any, shape or form, if you will. I'm not denying that whatsoever. And again, if you're a Disney fanatic and you want to ship those two together, that's fine. Heck, there are people that ship Spike with Starlight because of their chemistry. But again, you notice that even those moments are not as poignant or as pretty much elaborated on as Spike and Rarity. And again, with the fact that the viewership of this is nearly 300 views in almost 24 hours, if not less than that, and probably more so by the time you watch and listen to this, that just shows you the fan support that this ship has. I mean, there are people that do support it, no matter how you view it. Again, people can have their opinion on who they feel Spike should be with, and that's fine. But again, as I mentioned in the video last night, in the audio last night, a lot of fans that were against it at first are now coming into supporting it, basically. They're coming in to support it, but they're doing it by basically using the loophole that they found. That loophole being that they're basically utilizing older Spike from Last Problem as the one that would be with Rarity. And if you want to do that, that's cool too. Not an issue. But I do like the fact that you have fans that were a little iffy about it, coming forward and acknowledging, yeah, maybe it's not that bad of a ship, but we just weren't too crazy about it at first because of the way things were. And then when you look at Drag and Drop, going back to that, again, You know, again, yeah, not a lot of people liked how Rarity was portrayed, but the ending opened the door, left the door open to interpret what happens afterwards. It does. It opens the door to interpret what happens afterwards. You know, and a lot of people will say, yeah, maybe they did finally end up in an official relationship. They just, knowing the show, they probably just didn't make it very, obvious. You know, like they threw in little hints here and there. You know, to kind of like be like, I guess indicate that there was something more now. But yeah, people, had the door pretty much, left open for them to interpret it any way they want. And also, I want you to think about this too. They didn't have to do what they did with Best Gift Ever, but they did, remember? The whole Spike wanted to be the heartwarming helper for Rarity, and eventually becoming it, and then giving her the gift that he did. They didn't have to go that hard. Well, semi-hard. They didn't have to, but they did. And the way Spike's version of the True Gift of Giving song was done and sang and performed, it was done in a romantic ballad kind of way. Not just here's a song I want to give to you, it's all about, holidays, da-da-da. No, it was done in a way that was romantically, instrumented, if you will. Romantically instrumented. And I don't think anybody can deny that. The staff knew what they were doing. They did. But again, people will have their opinions. I'm just happy in a sense that, there are all more positive outlooks at this relationship than there were before, even by those that weren't too fond of it at first. But again, I just wanted to come on here and thank you guys for the viewership it's gotten so far in its quick time. And let me know what your thoughts are on the relationship overall, some of the things I had to bring up. I got to get into work now, guys. But let me know what your thoughts are. And until next time, as I try to unlock my phone here, until next time, I will talk to you all later.